We're good to go. All right, call the special meeting of the Walton Verona Middle School Site-Based Council to order. It is 6:01 p.m. This is a special meeting. Since we canceled our meeting in March, we did not have one scheduled for April. So roll call, I show Clancy's here, Solkovitz is here, Fitz is here, Smith's here, Turner's here, and Moorwestle's here. So we'll move on to the opening of business, and that's the approval of the agenda. Again, it's a special meeting, so we can't add anything to it. So I just need a first to approve the agenda.
I'll make it.
Susan?
Yep.
I need a second.
Second. Turner.
Who was that?
Turner.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, meeting, the last time we met was in January. I have the meeting minutes there. Everybody have a chance to look at those?
Mhm.
Yep.
Just need a motion there then to approve those minutes from January 23rd.
Pitzel motion.
Clancy seconds.
Any discussion or questions?
Mm-mm.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Very good. Good news. Well, we're surviving. We've, almost gotten the last 25% of our year under NTI. I can't say enough for what all the teachers have done. A lot of adjustments early on. Within 48 hours, we were ready to roll. I mean, that's pretty good on our teachers' parts. A couple little bumps here and there in the road. I know it's tough on families, but I'm overall pretty pleased with how teachers have handled things and addressed issues. Parents, any thoughts or words?
I've been extremely pleased with how things have been handled. I think the teachers have done a phenomenal job, and administration has done a great job of, like you said, getting things done quickly and in an orderly fashion and getting everybody up and running.
And I think after talking to lots of other families in different districts, I've been really, teachers just have done an amazing job, and the district did a great job just getting it up and running. So thank you guys. I know that was a lot of extra work for you, and continues to be a lot of extra work for you, but I know the word on the street, and you guys have done an amazing job.
Thank you.
Thanks. That's awesome.
I feel teachers have worked harder, maybe not longer hours sometimes, but definitely worked harder during this time because there's been a lot of different things to have to deal with. So.
Well, I even see that at work as we change everything to telehealth. I'm like, this is more work than it was before. It's easier to be in person getting it done than trying to figure it out individually.
Yeah.
I've been really impressed with our kids and our parents too. I feel like the parents have stepped up and been really supportive, and the kids are, they're working their butts off, I think. I'm really impressed with how hard they're working.
Yeah, I agree. Anybody else have anything they wanted to share?
I was really excited that I made that elective class just to kind of have some fun with some of the kids. And I had a lot of 8th graders join. I was really shocked, and they participate with me. And it's just silly stuff, but they've been having to watch a murder mystery series, and I'm really impressed with them.
I've liked seeing some of the fun stuff some of the teachers have done too. I was able to sit in on a couple. So anything else? Next is our student counts. As of yesterday, we actually have had kids enroll and withdraw during this time. You can see the counts: 5th grade 133, 6th grade 121, 7th grade 137, 8th grade at 156. That's a total of 547. So up a couple in some grades, down a couple in some grades. Any questions there? I shared with you my board report for April. We did not do one in March. That was kind of the transition month for everybody. Didn't know what was going on. As you can see, I just gave an overview of what's coming for next school year. That's in the board's report. Our participation and attendance rate, the things that we've done. to keep track of that. And then we have our February students of the month. We have not done any on NTI. A lot harder to do when we're not face to face, because I agree with, it was Jen Fitz that said a lot of the kids have been working really hard, and some kids even harder. So it'd be kind of hard to pick just one student at this time. So we kind of put that on hold. But any questions about anything I had in the board report?
Mm-mm.
Nope.
Next informational item is SBDM elections. The teachers had their election. Karen Rogers ran that for us, collected the nominations, did the votes electronically through a Google form. Jason Reese was able to give me the directions to give to Karen to make that work so that the teachers just voted once. So our teacher members for next year, Ms. Solkovitz will be returning as a teacher member. Mrs. Hedges and Mrs. Schlim will be the other two teacher members. So Amy and Jen Fitz, this will be your last service to us this year
Tier.
for site base.
I know.
I do have a little something that,
happy to do
Susan, I know you cannot run because you're gonna be done with the middle school.
Yes, I will.
So I have just a little token of appreciation that you'll get a little crystal apple blue one.
Oh, thank you. That's cool.
Jen and Amy, it's in your mailbox whenever we can get back in here. And
Oh, thank
Susan,
you.
I'll
Thank
find
you.
a time to get you yours. But just a little something thanking you for your service. I know it takes, it's not a huge commitment, but it does take time. And I know that teachers and parents will come to you for things. So I appreciate it.
Thank
No
you.
problem.
Thank you.
PTSA is going to hold their election in the coming week. They did extend their nomination period through Thursday. I know that PTSA President Franny Boland has still been busy. I think she was away for a little while, and I talked with her a couple times last week, and we just extended the nomination period, and then we're going to have our election similar to what the high school's doing one day next week through the IC portal, and just open it up for a day for the parents. So I'll give an update on that through email after it happens, after I get the information from Franny. NTI update, we kind of talked about that a little bit at the beginning on the good news. It has run overall smoothly. I think that teachers have been appreciative of how we've handled it in this district. That's all the way from Dr. Baker top on down of how it was handled and allowing teachers a lot of flexibility. I think that has really been a difference maker for the experience for our teachers and kids, because like I said, teachers are working harder now than they did before, and we're just trying to maintain some semblance of education for them. So I think it's been really good. Jen Solkovitz, I think you're the one that developed that weekly schedule, and every grade level is using it. And I send that out on Twitter and Facebook, and parents love it. It's a model for the district. So that's been great for us. With the NTI, teachers have done a great job of documenting the work, because that's something that we'll have to have available for KDE. Mr. Reidner, they've got another document they've used for attendance. So Mr. Reidner's kept track of attendance and the evidence we've needed for our NTI days. So teachers have had an extra couple of steps in there for us to keep up to date on records, and they've done a great job with that. So that's kind of where we're at. I have asked the teachers to focus more on the kids that need to make up some work these last 2 weeks, and just start to scale back a little bit these last couple of weeks, so that we can kind of wrap up the year. Because normally these last 2 weeks of the year, it's K-Prep, and then after K-Prep, a few teachers give some exams, and then just kind of wrapping things up, awards ceremonies. So try to mimic that these last couple of weeks. There still is work, but it shouldn't be as intense to start to wind down as the last couple of weeks finish up. Any questions or comments about that?
Nope.
The end of year is obviously going to look different. We don't have award ceremonies. I have a senior at home. I wish I was optimistic about even a end of July ceremony. It just doesn't sound like the phases of the opening of the state are going to go that quickly, and that's the reality of it. But we'll see. If we get into July and it looks like we might be able to do something, we can then talk about whether we want to do something for our 8th graders over the summer. I'm a pretty optimistic guy, but I don't see it happening based on what we've heard. But if it does, we will get something together for those kiddos. We're going to go ahead and just get our awards together and mail them out. We are doing the 8th grade slideshow, so we'll mail that out with the awards. So every 8th grader will get something like they do at promotion, and then the 5th, 6th, and 7th, we'll just mail them out to the ones that have gotten them. A couple other things we're thinking about doing. I got a faculty meeting with the staff tomorrow. We're going to talk about a couple things, kind of do something to the close of the year. We did the parade. I know Dr. Baker supported that. It was a great event. He's just asking us again to be just cautious for anything we do. So it'll probably be something through a video of some sort that we would send out to everybody as opposed to something in person. It's just trying to be smart, trying to do what governor asks and the health officials ask us to do. So,
Well, the video was cute last time. They thoroughly enjoyed that. Nice job.
well, you all know me enough that I don't mind having a little fun at my own expense. So if it got the kids to laugh a little bit and even some of the adults, then it was worth it to me. Because
Yeah. Well, and I think anytime the kids get to see your faces, the better off it is. I mean, even Mr. A was putting out track, videos
Yeah.
when he was allowed to, and my kids aren't even running track, but they sat and watched it anyways because they just enjoy that interaction. And so
yeah, I know Mr. Patterson down at the elementary has been really good about sending some videos out on a regular basis, and that's probably something I would look to do if we had to start the year on NTI. But I think as a staff, we're going to try to put together some type of a little video as a end of year celebration for the kids, something somehow, some way.
Your last video gave some enjoyment to the radiology department at Children's as well. They're like, your principal did that?
Yeah, he's nuts.
They were impressed.
So we're gonna have an ending to the year. I mean, we want to bring closure to the year and send out the awards and stuff. We're gonna try to do a couple things for the kids and the staff, and then when we do get back to normal, if we decide to do some things in-house, we'll put those together. If we can get the kids back together for a brief ceremony or something, we will. But once we get back to school, our focus is going to be catching up some kids too. But I don't think 30 or 45 minutes out of that time would be horrible, just to give the kids a little something that they missed at the end of this year. So we'll go from there. There is no one else as far as audience of citizens, we wouldn't have one in this setting. I don't, so if anybody comes up with a question afterwards, we will address that. So the student achievement report, map data. I wish I had more map data to share with you. We had just finished the week of reading map testing when we left for NTI. And I would say we probably got about 95% of those scores. I haven't even really put them into a grouping because we don't have it all. So that means we don't have any math, any science, any language mechanics. So I really don't have much to report on there other than telling you we got through our scheduled reading tests and we probably got about 95% of the kids reading scores, but that's it. So, we'll get map done when we get map done. If we start the year in September, August, whenever, we'll get it done. If we don't, we'll just start with a maps session in the winter. We'll figure it out. So, and I won't have K-Prep to report on because they did waive K-Prep and they got the exemption for that. So, any questions there?
Nope.
All right, action items. We have a few. Well, two. Now that we have a Family Resource Youth Service Center, we have the Youth Service Center here at the middle school, high school. The middle school and the high school has to do this. I'm going to put it a little bit closer. Can you see? It's just the site-based principal agreement form. Okay. Basically, what it says at the top is that states that upon submission of the 2020-2022 Frisky Continuation Program Plan, the site-based council hereby assures compliance with all Frisky related statutes and any policies, procedures, and or requirements as they relate to this application. So it's just basically saying we are in support of this, and we will work with them. And if they need something from us, we'll work with them on that. So, and we'll do that within the guidelines of the site-based council and the Frisky grant administrators. So I'm the only one that has to sign it. It just has to be that it was put on record, but I'm going to go ahead and just put it up for a motion because I'm not sure if we needed a motion or not. I know it just had to be on the minutes, but everybody good with me signing this for the continuation of that? I just need a motion.
A motion.
Soki, second.
Seasonal second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I'm signing it as we speak. So it's going to go, it's on our agenda and on our minutes that was approved on and I got to get that over to Michelle Gregg. So second thing is the master schedule. And I've done a lot of different things with the master schedule here recently to try to create a new one. What I'm trying to do is create a schedule that helps us continue to do the things we have been doing, but also support our struggling learners even more. Our kids that are in our RTI program, tier 2 and 3, our special ed kids, and even just our general struggling learners that aren't in either of those programs. So I'd gone back and forth on several different options, met with teachers, met with teams, team leaders, met with Troy and Kristen quite a few times, and we finally developed a schedule that works for everybody. Hallelujah. So if you have the schedule pulled up in front of you, middle school schedule can be quite confusing because we have 4 grade levels. So you see 4 different schedules plus the encore, plus outside time, plus SEL. So let me explain what that is. You just focus on the encore schedule there, the one that has multiple colors. You can see yellow is first period for everybody. It's just yellow for encore because that's the 8th grade's encore time, but that's the first period time. We have a 6-period schedule. Everybody's on the same 6th period. We've moved the RTI time from 2nd period back to 4th period, which is where it was about 4 years ago. And there's a reason we pulled it out of there, but this schedule format really helps us achieve the 2 things I want to achieve with our special ed population and our RTI, because we're able to do some supplemental resource during that time daily. And I went on a site visit with Mr. Nash, Caitlin Sullivan, and Michelle Gregg back in January or February. And we visited Meade County schools, and they do a lot of good things with their co-teaching and their collaborative schedule and with their special ed kids. And this is going to help us model some of what they do with this supplemental resource time every day. They showed pretty significant improvement in their reading and math scores with their special ed population by doing this supplemental resource every day. So that's going to occur where you see it in the blue section, that those kids will be there every day, Tuesday through Friday, because Monday is going to be our social emotional learning day where the whole school is doing that. So 4 out of 5 days a week, special ed students will be in supplemental resource with the special education teacher working on their goal work. And then that's also a time where the rest of the school is going to be in an RTI group, similar to what they do now in the Bearcat Special. I'm just trying to get the Bearcat Special word away, rebrand it back as RTI time. And then our reading and math RTI can work with their tier 3 kids every day. So that was really important to get more consistency to that. And recess does not occur in that time anymore. With Bearcat Special, recess occurred 2 times a week in that. So really, they were only going to their RTI groups about 3 times a week. So this helps add that consistency to it. And then teams have their outside times there to the right and the days that they're going, so that because recess is a nice part of our culture, and it's nice for 10 to 14-year-old kids to go run around for 30 minutes a couple times a week. But, we had to pull it away from the RTI time, so it was separate. Any questions about the schedule? The teachers have been through this several times with me, so they've had their feedback. But Susan, Kristen, does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
Looks good.
So we went through the teams, we went through the team leads. Everybody is good with this schedule. It just needs site-based blessing. So if we're ready, I just need a motion.
I'll make it.
I'll second it. It's Sulky.
Solke, second. Any questions, comments, discussion? I'm excited about adding in this supplemental resource and what this will look like. We're really doing some homework on our overall RTI program for what the rest of the kids are going to go and use. And we want to use the things that are working well already and add some things into it. So that's still in progress, and I'll keep everybody up to date on that. No other comments or questions?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Beautiful. Budget report. Interesting that this is as of March 31st. And you can see we have spent 76.8% of our budget as of March 31st. That's actually better than we normally would be at this time of year, but we haven't been in school for the last 6 or 7 weeks, so we haven't spent money. We will be spending some money here at the end of the year. We got to get some postage. Our postage budget is at $15.76. I just signed a purchase order for postage because we're going to need to mail some stuff out. That'll clean that account out, but we still have our copier rental. What I'd end up like to do is I've talked with the teachers about technology and adding mini labs as best I can, with the assumption we're going to have $10,000, $12,000 available. I'd like to try to see, I'm going to have to work with Jason to see if we can get some more Chromebooks and how soon we can get them, but I'd like to at least get a purchase order in for them so that we can get more technology in a little bit quicker. So if there's one advantage to the NTI, we haven't spent all of our money, so we have some extra that we can get some more mini labs in. So that's kind of my plan to do with what's remaining. Because it's one of those things, if we don't spend it, it doesn't always roll over. So this isn't like your checkbook where you got to keep a savings account. This is meant to be spent. So I'm going to work with Kevin. I'll talk with Jason more, see what the feasibility is of ordering some Chromebooks and what that's going to cost and the recurring costs of that, because I don't want to purchase something that we can't sustain either. So I'd like to do that with what's remaining as best we can so that we can get, when I say a mini lab in a classroom, I'm talking 5 to 8 machines in classrooms, and probably focus more on reading and math to start and spread it out there, especially for teachers that are ready for some station work. That's where it would come into play. Any comments or questions there?
I think that sounds great.
Me too.
The only line that's over budget is paper, because I never really had a paper copy, but what I'll do is I'll ask Jason to transfer the balance over from like others, kind of where we threw a bunch of money that was over, and we still have $6,500 there. So I'm going to ask him to transfer that $24,4960 to that paper account so that it's not showing a negative balance. Again, in the end, Kevin Ryan only cares about that bottom dollar amount, but a couple years ago, one of the council members just wanted to make sure that that was in line with what we were spending. So when we saw a negative balance, we knew why. So unless anybody, we don't have to vote on that necessarily. I'm just going to ask him to cover that through that other, which is what that other account's really for. It's kind of like that account that we can pull money. That way it just shows a zero balance that we spent 100% of it instead of 149%. We still have $18,700 as of March 31st. So that way that'll show a zero balance. Everybody good with that?
Yep.
Sounds good.
All right. Executive session, we do not need to enter. We have nothing to talk about as far as personnel at this point. So we do not have to do that. I will say that if we have, at current time, I don't know of any positions that are open. If that changes, we'll just do what we always have done. And we're on a consultation policy, so we can go ahead and do our committee and hire, and then I just update council at our next meeting. But you guys know how it works. I try to get one of you teachers and one of you parents in the ad hoc committee for hiring. So regardless of what has happened or what will happen with elections, you guys are in until June 30th. So any positions that come open before then that we can interview for, I will be pulling you guys in. Because if we have a position open, the sooner we can interview for it, the better we are. But at current time, we don't have any, but that can change. So I'll keep you posted if we get one.
Okay.
Items for next meeting. Well, at this point in time, I do not plan on having another meeting for the 1920 school year unless there is something we end up having to talk about, and then it'll be a special meeting. And if we're still social distancing, we'd have to do it through this means. And Jason Reese would have to be here, so it'd be like a 6 o'clock meeting again to work with him for his family. So other than that, you know, I know in August we'll have some stuff. We'll have consultation on any hires if we had it. And I know Mr. Reidner wants to give a safety update after our safety assessment, but the gentleman that did it wanted it to be at the beginning of the school year, so that'll be with next year's council. But it'll be a typical August. So unless we have to have one, this is it. But you're still on council till the 30th. So if I need to interview people, I'm going to call y'all.
Okay, sounds good.
No problem.
Anybody have anything else they want to say? We can't do anything else on agenda because it was a special meeting, but anybody have anything else? I just need, it is 6:27. So I need a first to adjourn.
I will first, Turner.
Second,
Clancy.
all in favor?
Bye.
Any opposed? Ladies, thank you for your time. I promised to keep it brief and it was. Teachers, I'll see you tomorrow morning at 10.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, Jason.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
guys.
Take care.